Okay, another Sunday and a few things got done. Actually, I'm going to say a lot got done because a lot of it was tedious and it took a little bit of time. And basically, I have 3 of the regulators in because, as I said before, I needed to replace that side door there. But I might hold off on replacing the door, just make that one work for now. It needs minor work. It's an original door to the car, so I may just doctor that one up for now, because like I said, I'm not ready to paint this year, because then it'll never get out there. But I will paint it most likely next winter, I'm going to say, because I still have other projects. The paint on it is really not that bad. Yeah, we got some little nicks and things, but it is what it is. I'm just going to have to accept that for now. As hard as it is for me to accept, I have to accept it. I got some of this wiring semi-finalized. I don't have it tie-wrapped and pretty yet, but I'll show you what I did. We'll take the camera off in a little bit. So I worked on that, and again, took time. It was tedious. The power window transformation here, the update to electric, wasn't that bad. It was pretty quick, believe it or not. I mean, just to fit everything, minimal drilling. I think we increase in the back anyway. In the front there is no drilling at all, except for the where the boot goes for the wiring to enter, and we'll take a look at that too. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but this side is done. The other side I didn't do when I originally drilled it was because I was going to put the new door in. But I'm starting to, debate that. So there's going to be some touch-up on the paint. I'll do the best I can to make it invisible. It is possible to touch it up and make it invisible. I do have a color matching camera. Again, I'm still working on the software. I have to call a few people, and I haven't had time. I've been really busy at work, so work is primary. This is a very secondary problem here. So not much for parts, just a lot of fittings came in, hose, just the basic stuff I need to start doing, some plumbing. I took care of the reservoir. I'll show you what I did there for the power steering reservoir. And the coil is mounted on the firewall. And I used a nut search for that. And rivet nuts, I should say. They were called rivet nuts, and I'll show you the little kit and everything. So let's pop that camera off and walk around a little bit. Alright, my weekly disclaimer, I'm not a cameraman. Here's the nutser kit, which is nothing more, and I keep saying nutser, it's actually a rivet nut. Basically looks just like a rivet gun. These are your inserts and your anvils to install it, and I'll show you what we did here. So let's walk over to the car, and that is your coil, as I'm sure you all know. And what I did was I drilled it, I got the inserts in there, and I used the original hardware that came with the coil, and basically I put Loctite on there, because this stuff is going to vibrate, so everything I do here has got Loctite on it. So this way there's no things falling off, rattling off, because it's going to be a big rattle chamber, as we all know. So basically, if you look a little closer, you can see that I got wires coming out of the cowl there, and I put a grommet. I bought a couple of grommet kits so I can make things nice and neat, and that comes out there. The main wire that comes to the battery, as I said, I was going to use this as a channel. And if you look right there in the corner, hard to see, which is what I wanted, grommet and the wire coming through from out of the cowl. Now I got some wires still laying there that need to go together and be neatened up, heat shrink and all that good stuff, and make it nice and neat and make them disappear. And this is not tie wrapped yet because I still have this wire here that has to go in. I got to do the fuel system. This here is not double stick tape, but I used Velcro, and it's in there really solid. I'm pulling on it and it ain't going anywhere. And I did the same with the coil. I'll walk around and give you a better view of that. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Here, let's climb up on my ladder here. So here's the MSD coil. Again, it's in there, and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to use wipers, so I'm gonna get the delete kit just to kind of block those off, so I don't have to look at those holes. And then again, once the hood goes on, who sees them anyway? So, but it's just, you know, I don't like leaving things unfinished. So basically, this is going to be my electrical run. Here's where I came out for the main power from the battery. Here's a closer look at the coil. And all the wiring is in that corner there, pretty much hidden behind the chrome vacuum canister and the engine itself. So wires, exposure of wires is at a very, very, very minimum. Now let's take a look here. So I mounted this bracket here. It may look a little uneven. That's only because the car is sitting on a stands uneven. So basically that's going to drop down to approximately there. And I'm trying to do this all one-handed. So I'm just going to place that there. And here are the interior guts of it. So I just mocked up, and that's not tight yet. The diverter is tight, but the fitting is not. The fitting, basically that's going to be the feed, the supply to the pump, which is going to go down to that big fitting down there. And the return, I didn't get the fitting for this yet, that's why it's not really totally done. The fitting was on back order. You know, what I need to use here is a 90-degree 6AN to 3/8 NPT 90-degree fitting. And that's the return. And the reason that they use this here, a lot of bottles do not use a diverter. And what happens is the return just basically flushes into the system, into the reservoir, and it starts to actually create bubbles, and that can actually give you cavitation. So this here is going to control the flow back, and it's going to come out here, it's going to come out here, and just be a little bit more controlled, and it's going to be pretty much all liquid. It won't get aerated, you know, just because of basically because of heat. Heat is going to start creating bubbles in there, even though many don't realize it. A lot of systems that return too fast start to create cavitation. So basically, hopefully, you know, the reservoir should be more than enough for what I'm doing here. It is feeding power steering. It is also feeding the Hydro Boost. And talking about the Hydro Boost, I think we're done under the hood here. Oh, and I test fitted, you know, just these little inexpensive replica grates that go on there, and they actually fit really, really good. Once I put them on, they were a little hard to get off, which is good. The old ones just fell right off, and I still have the old ones, the originals. But they also make a full plate that goes across. That's pretty cool. But I didn't want that look, though. And it's fairly inexpensive. It's like $75. It's black anodized, or you could get it in chrome. And as of right now, I don't think I want that. I think the original ones look really cool under there and kind of give you a little bit of a stock look. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to do too many serious, crazy body mods. I'm trying to keep the car looking original. That's why I'm really upset about the hood not fitting, and well, that I have to accept, because as of right now, I'm definitely keeping the injection system. So it is what it is. Let's see if we can get a quick look. We can take a look, and you can see the gold piece in there. That's the regulator, the electric regulator. They give you a lot of wires. So the way I set mine up is, obviously the first switch is going to be driver, second switch is going to be passenger, third switch is going to be driver's quarter window, and the last switch is going to be for the right quarter window. I believe that to be stock, if I'm not mistaken. So they give you a lot of wire, which is good, but it's also bad because they got to hide all that wire. But it'll go under the carpet. You know, it'll never be seen. Actually, it may fit under the seat, and I could run it down along the channel down there by the door, or, you know, right down over there. So it's a little dirty and kind of a disaster in here at the moment. But as for that door there, I gutted it because I was going to remove it and I was going to paint the new door and put it on. But as of right now, I'm just not into. I'm not into doing that right now. It's got a few very minor imperfections that I know that many may not even see on the outside. But as of right now, I want to get it all together. And when the time comes, hopefully next winter, because again, I'm limited on room and I got other projects, and this car does not look that bad. You know, I know it looks pretty decent in the pictures and in the video, but you know, in real life, it doesn't look bad either. The paint is still alive, it's still shiny. I'm going to block it. I'm definitely going to block it, and I'm going to invest some time in that. And I will touch up the little nicks and dings. There's no dents. It's just like paint nicks, and again, doesn't make a lot of sense of where they came from. But stupid stuff like this. It's like, where did this come from? It was in storage. And just like this little thing. That's probably the biggest one. And you got like a little guy right here that I know I didn't do that. When I pulled the car out of storage, I looked at it and I just couldn't figure out how the hell that happened. But it is what it is. I'm not going to let it stress me. I'm just going to work it. And this, like I said, I believe this is frost white, which is also called Olympic white in Chevrolet. I have the code for it. I'm pretty sure I used the DuPont product. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to work it, touch it up, blend it if I have to with an airbrush, whatever. And I'll spend a little time doing that, just so to say, I don't want to paint the car this year. And, the body is straight. There's really nothing wrong. There's no dents, there's really no Bondo at all on this car. Just a little bit of plastic, I think, in that door. That's it. There's only a little bit of plastic in the bottom corner of that door. Oh, I'm sorry, not even the bottom corner. It's in the top section here on the passenger door. So I still haven't bled the brakes. I did have to order a complete new master cylinder in order to get this cap. Because I do want to pressure bleed it. I do not want to do the pump to brake pedal, and that's just a disaster and just accidents waiting to happen. And the other reason I want to pressurize it is it'll show me if I have any leaks, because even though I bought all the proper lines, all stainless steel, and they're all replica, they're original lines. The only lines I had to cut were on the back here, where I installed a 9-inch Ford. So I just had to take the original line, cut it, and it joins right here. So I cut it, I flared it, and again, I have a professional flaring tool, so it wasn't any anything done incorrectly. So I really doubt I'm going to have any leaks, but the little bit of pressure in there is gonna be a plus to just reassure I don't have leaks. The only thing I haven't run yet are the e-brakes, and I do want to put an e-brake on the vehicle. So I do have the stainless lines for that. If I'm not mistaken, they're right behind me. And those are the stainless lines. They go in the original spot, and they'll hook right up to those aftermarket calipers. And I believe those are all Right Stuff. I used Right Stuff for the brake system, and it appeared to be a good quality product. It wasn't super expensive. It wasn't cheap either, but it was moderate. I liked the Willwood, but the particular system that I wanted at the time was back ordered, and I'm already way behind the 8 ball on this, so I just couldn't wait months and months for brakes. Otherwise, I think I would have just been getting them, if I'm not mistaken, for the system I wanted for the Hydro Boost and all that. So Right Stuff had them. They came in. I popped everything on. Everything fit perfectly. No modifications. I had no issues. So once we bleed them, I'll know more if I like them or if I don't like them. But I'm sure it'll be fine. A lot of people are running these. And again, nothing here is about cost. It's about availability. I need it, and I need it now because my time is limited, and I don't want this to be a forever project, which I feel like it is at this point. I think this is going to be my 28th or 29th video on YouTube about this car. Hopefully, in the next few, I might be able to get it fired up. I do have to go back through the timing on it just to reassure myself that I did everything correctly with the phasing and all that. Because at the time that I did it, I had so much going on, and I just want, I like to check my work. Nobody's perfect, I believe it to be perfect, but you know, sometimes my mind says that check it again, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, so we covered pretty much everything I did. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but just getting all the wiring in place and getting the holes drilled properly, waiting on the grommets to arrive yesterday, and you know, it just ate up a lot of time. And also, I did work yesterday for a little bit, so that ate up a little bit of time too. I should actually be at work today, but I got somebody covering me, so that's all good. And my son's actually covering me today, and that gives me the opportunity to be here and play with the car. There's not a lot more I'm going to do here today. Really, I'm going to start neatening up, finalizing the wiring. Once that wiring is all done, I believe I have everything here at this point. I'll pop the you know, the plastic covers on, the cowl covers, and I'm going to call that a day. Actually, I might do the sound deadening on the floor today, or at least get started on it, and start moving towards the interior, because out here I'm pretty much done. I just got to backtrack. They were labeled, but somehow the labels came off because I didn't do it good, because I was in a rush. I just got to figure out my feed and return for the fuel. And I still have to put the vent valve in the fuel system, but I couldn't do it at the time because the rear wasn't in, nothing was in. So now that I have the back buttoned up, I can figure out where I want to put my my vent, so it doesn't look bad if anybody looks under there. And also, you know, it's in the proper position for it to do its job. It's also a rollover valve. God forbid, hopefully we never go through that. Well, actually, I think driving around the block is not going to do that, because that's about as far as this car is going to go, because just based on time and other projects. So I'll have a little fun with it, but probably not the fun that I really want to have with it until a few other projects are done and behind me. The next few projects should go pretty quick. Basically, the coffin car should be really quick. I have all the parts, but, you know, like everything else, we got to start putting it together and see how it goes. All right, I'm sure you're tired of looking at the engine here, so let's go ahead and put this camera back on the stand and finish up. Okay, so with the weather getting warmer, I'll be able to, I think last week I had the doors open while I was working, but today it's a little chilly. I still have the heat on in here because there's a lot of equipment in here, and I don't want to introduce any moisture. I have some new tools that I haven't treated yet. So, you know, usually I hit everything with WD-40, even though it doesn't need it, just as an extra protection. So when I need that tool, I know it's going to work for me. It's going to move properly. I don't think you can see it, but down here I have a new box and pan bender from Eastwood. I haven't really set it up yet, but I haven't coated it yet either. But it came with a coating on it that does need to be washed off, and then I'll coat it with WD-40. Just a little added protection. I have a mill to the left that, again, it came coated. I got to wash their coating off, and I haven't had the time to even set that up, and I'm really anxious to set that up because there's a few parts I need to make, and that's going to come in really handy. Not necessarily for this project, but for the other two projects coming up. So I'm going to need to get that up and running, and hopefully I'll do a video on it and we'll learn together, because I sure the hell don't know how to use it. So I'm not even going to pretend I know how to use it, because I don't. Hopefully my son will help me. He's a computer whiz. The software is going to be my biggest challenge with that, because I just don't have the time for it. I totally understand it. I understand the process and all that, but getting into the software to create is, I'm very limited. I just don't have the time to spend on it. Like, it's not something you learn overnight, and I'm sure the little stuff you could learn overnight. Also, I have and I showed you guys this a few weeks ago, I also have can't think of the name of it, the Arc Droid plasma cutter. It's a small plasma cutter. I got a big table too, but that thing, I only use it if I really, really have to. It's just too big. I made kind of a minor mistake purchasing that big table, thinking that we needed all that room, and no, you don't need a 5x10 table. A 4x8 is more than enough. But then again, if I ever do need it, at least I have it. So I have an Arc Droid, and I bought the new attachment that they offer now. It's called the X2. It's here somewhere. Here it is. I know I showed you this a few weeks ago. So that's something else that I kind of want to set up soon. Again, just to practice with, and that's going to be a little easier because that's kind of a point and play, trace, and cut. So if you have an original piece that's just a little damaged or whatever, as long as you could trace it, or and it'll work with CAD also. You can actually CAD the part. But for me, that's going to probably be more quick, more economical, and it's just easier for me because I don't do CAD CAM. Very little CAD CAM I do. But the mill's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome, and that's going to help a lot with the coffin car because I already created brackets for the rear, and I did that on my plasma table. I welded everything up. I powder coated everything. Basically, actually, I sent those out to get powder coated. I do have a system, but I don't have an oven yet. So, you know, once you look at it, I believe it's in my trailer, so I don't have it to show you. But I'll try to dig that out in the next few weeks just to show you what I made. And I'm going to put a Corvette rear in the existing frame of my 34 Ford. I'm sorry if I confused you. I was talking about the coffin car. But I had a 34 Ford also. It was a kit car that I purchased many, many years ago. And just never got around to doing it again, time and all that. But I have all the brackets. I measured everything, drew everything up. And I was able to get those cut out on my table, and I was able to get it all together, welded, you know, grinded it pretty so there's no welds showing. Some of the stuff I bent, some I was able to bend to where I needed it, and so I could put a C3, I believe it is. Is it a C3? No, it's a C4. It's a C4 Corvette rear that I have that I'll be putting in there, and I'll be eliminating the spring and replacing it with coilover shocks for the suspension for that car. So I guess that's about it. So those are future projects. We're still working on this, and hopefully I'll put a little more time into this today. But with the warmer weather, I got some yard stuff I need to do. I'm just preparing to make some decisions on maybe adding another garage, so this way when this gets to the point of where I can start it and run it, I could put it in the other garage to do any final steps on it, and I could get another project in here. And also, I just got to start sorting through all this stuff. All those boxes back there are basically interior parts. Some are just empty boxes that I saved for warranties and things like that. But for the most part, they're full boxes of interior stuff, and some of the original interior stuff is still in here too. So this way I could just kind of match it up when the new parts came, just to make sure that they looked right. So I guess that's it. I guess I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching, and have a good weekend, whatever's left of it.